right, so a woman on TikTok has gone viral and it sparked an interesting conversation. Let's take a look.
I'm literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in a parking lot. So this guy, I am alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. Ever. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. And if a male does approach you, you need to turn around and use the strongest voice that you can possibly use with them.
I felt like I was getting yelled at, and
yes.
I didn't even do anything. So what do you think? Was this woman being smart, or did she overreact to this as a woman? What do you think, Erica?
I think context is very important, and we're lacking a lot of it in this situation. At the end of the day, if you're talking about someone who feels like they're in a vulnerable position, she looks like a small statured person, and she was with her son, which also puts you in an added vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm. I
think that some people err on the side of caution, which is a smart thing to do, to say, like, listen, maybe she was triggered by something, maybe she had been, we don't know if she's been assaulted before, if something has happened to her before, and she's coming at it from that part. Sometimes it's best to hurt someone's feelings over getting hurt yourself. That being said, again, we do not know the context of this. She went on to say that this person was sketchy. I don't know what that means to her, but I would say anyone who feels like they're in a vulnerable position, walking alone or with their children, I do think that there is a barrier that should always be there, and people should respect that.
Can I ask a question on behalf of all men? Was she right? I know we don't live in a world of absolutes, but was she right to say you never approach a woman in a parking lot? Jeff and I were talking that we were shocked, I think it was season 2 or 3, when we saw the uniformity of the women on the panel that were saying they're conscious of vans next to their car with the sliding doors, which blew my mind.
Me too.
And it makes perfect sense that I heard it. So please enlighten us. Is that just for the men out there? Is that a no-go always?
I think that there should always be, for anyone, a certain level of space between yourself and a stranger in situations where it's afforded. Obviously, if you're in a crowd situation, there can't be. But if you're in an empty parking lot and someone is walking too close to you. Now, 30 feet, the person could have been going to their vehicle, but maybe there wasn't another vehicle there. Maybe we don't know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is speculative, but I think overall, if you are in a situation where there's something in you that's saying there's something not right about this situation, then yes, you have to assert yourself. I've been on the receiving end of that, where I was walking through a parking lot and some guy grabbed my wrist, and there was so much space. There was so much opportunity for me to have moved over, and I did move over a little bit, but this person kept coming towards me. And when he grabbed my wrist, I thought in that moment, like, why didn't I assert myself before that happened? I asserted myself when it happened, and there were other people around to, like, look or say something, but I thought, I kept playing that back, like, I'll never forget that. And I was like 22 years, so that's like 21 years ago.
Yeah. Good insight. Good insight.